special edition of VillageGamer.net news. We got here Rick Davidson, CEO of Inspirado Games. You might know them for a small game called Garden Mine that is nominated for a Canadian Game Award this year for Best Social Game, I believe.
Yep.
And so we're just going to talk a little bit about Garden Mine and what it's all about. So first of all, how long have you been doing this, Rick?
So Inspirado Games has been around now for a year and a half. So we've been cruising along. We've been in stealth mode for a while. Stealth mode, which basically means we haven't finished anything. That's what stealth mode means, I think. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I've been in the games industry a bit over 6 years. Mm-hmm. And working in consoles, working for medium-sized developers, and then just decided to go out on my own about a year and a half ago.
Cool. What made you decide to go on your own? What was the biggest contributing factor to that?
I think deep down everyone's got that passion to make a certain kind of game, and for me, when you're working for a developer and you're working on a game that the publisher requests that you make, you're very constrained with the sort of game that you can make. So as professionals, we need to make the product that we're asked to make. But for me, starting my own company and getting a group of guys together who wanted to make a different sort of game, it was a case of saying, well, this is the type of game we want to make, let's just go make it. So that was a lot of the catalyst. And I was getting a little bit disillusioned making games that were not necessarily making people better, not necessarily contributing to people's lives. So as with a lot of people in our industry, as I'm sure you've seen, you get into your 30s and you say, what the heck am I doing? I used to love playing games just because it was a great idle waste of time. But nowadays, I don't know, have a lot more passion that if I spend 15 minutes playing a game, then I want that 15 minutes to be something I can look back on and say, you know what, I achieved something in that 15 minutes.
So what exactly is Garden Mine?
So Garden Mine is a game that combines brain training with in-game philanthropy. So the brain training part of it is for people who like puzzles, who like math games, language games, Sudoku, crosswords, anyone who wants to kind of flex their brain muscles. There's been a lot of discussion about does brain training work, yes or no. I think whether it works or not sometimes is a little bit secondary to the discussion. There's just a lot of people who love to think and they love to be challenged mentally. So that's the core of it. So players grow their garden by playing brain training games. To grow a tree, you play a memory game. Yeah. I was trying to remember what trees grow. That's very ironic. So trees from memory, or flowers from a language game, shrubs from perception games. So depending upon the sort of games that you're good at or into, your garden will reflect that.
And you grow your tree or flower as you take the game on and you get a higher score and it grows, right?
That's right. Yep.
So I heard that there's something interesting about your game, though, is that animals are involved. Is that correct?
There are animals. Yeah. So I mentioned just before that we have in-game philanthropy.
Yeah.
So what we're looking to do is give, to close the loop on people supporting worthwhile causes, worthwhile charity causes. So for us, we have a relationship with World Wildlife Fund, WWF Canada.
Oh, wow.
And within the game, if you do something, for example, if you support the tigers in real life, then that leads to you being able to unlock a tiger in your garden. So completing that loop of, hey, I see you've got a tiger in your garden, that's really neat, how do I get that? Well, you actually have to support the tigers in real life to get a tiger in your garden.
Cool. So you start off by choosing what animal that you like, or?
You start off by choosing what cause you'd like to support.
Yeah. And then you get an animal based upon that. So if you're supporting the tigers, you get a tiger. If you're supporting the pandas, you get a panda. Yeah. Any other animals that you're looking to add into the game, or? Yeah,
we've got a bunch of animals in the pipeline.
Yeah.
At the moment, we're also supporting the earthquake relief in both New Zealand and Japan. Oh, yeah. So less people, I think, are aware of the issues in New Zealand, in Christchurch. But we've been actively supporting that. And of course, being New Zealand, when you grow the New Zealand silver fern and you grow it the whole way up, then it unlocks a kiwi that is in your garden. The kiwi, the animal, not kiwi, the fruit.
Yeah. Must be cute, though.
It is cute.
Yeah.
It is cute. Yeah.
So you made this game because you felt that you wanted to make a difference, You're helping promote some some awesome causes.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to make the world a better place. So I've seen on your business card, it says you're meaningful games.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with that philosophy?
Oh, good question. So this is part of what I was mentioning before about wanting to make a difference in the world. So when I looked at what games can do as a form of medium, there's people who love playing games. And me, I'm included, you're included, we love playing games. They're fun, they're challenging, makes you think, you hang out with your friends, there's cooperation. And for me, I looked at games and looked to see what they could be that was more than fun and more than entertainment. There's a lot of games out there that are doing that already that are fantastic, but they have labels that I think aren't fair to the product. So they might be called educational and they might be called serious. I think neither of those labels does justice to what a game can be. So when I looked at it, I thought, if a game was to have some substance where you played it and you had experienced personal growth, or you played it and you were able to contribute to a cause, or raise awareness for an issue, or even you and I bonding over a game more than competing over a game.
Yeah. I
was looking at that and thought, well, it's meaningful. So that's how we came up with that term and decided to use it. For me, I often say to people that there's an element of education in Garden Mind, but it's accidental education. We don't want people coming along who are like, right, educate me. We don't want a game that's homework.
Yeah.
It's a game it's just meaningful.
But would you recommend it to parents for people looking to help their youngsters try to learn more important words and that sort of stuff? I found that when I played it, I found that I actually felt like I got smarter after a while. I really liked the word wheel game. I really liked your trying to get the other ones I played it. They were all really
the memory games.
Each
time I'm trying to explain it, I'm like, what was that game again? It's always the memory game.
It's always the memory game. Yeah. But those things were always really fun, and I think that they could definitely probably help you a little bit with your memory.
Yeah.
So you're definitely seem to be helping people, and that's pretty cool.
You know what? It's with anything in life. If you concentrate on painting, you'll become a great painter. If you concentrate on exercising, you'll get fit. If you concentrate on memory games, your memory will get better. If you concentrate on math games, you'll get better at math. Or language games, you'll get better at language and understanding words and using your vocabulary. So there's I think, just a natural relationship. Whatever you do, you get better at.
How long did it take you to make Garden Mind so far?
So,
you said a year and a half.
That's the sigh that I think a lot of indie developers have when you ask them how long it's taken. We came up with the concept, I think, 3 years ago. I'd been in discussion with a friend of mine from when I was at university back in Australia in the psychology department. So one of the professors there, Dr. Ron Henderson, a good friend of mine. And he and I had talked about brain training for a long time. My background's in psychology, so I have an interest in it. I have an interest in the mind and the way people think. So brain training's been there for a long time, and we'll think about how could we execute it. We started off with a very kind of serious, sensible notion, and that evolved into, as Facebook started to become more prominent and social gaming started to have more of a place, we said, well, let's make it a casual game that's accessible to everyone, and have it constructed in a way that takes brain training from, I get 1 score, to brain training that's about the challenge of growing a meta game. So if you look at Brain Age, have you played Brain Age?